I see the user experience being kind of the new horsepower really in the industry, so it's a clear differentiator for the OEMs, how to differentiate themselves from the others and how to drive also their customers towards to their vehicles.
Hello， 各位 AutoLab's 的小伙伴，大家好，欢迎大家来到我们上海国际车展的现场。我们现在所处的位置呢，是在2.2馆的大陆集团的展台啊。那么今天呢，我要和一位嘉宾来进行一个深入的沟通和交流，他就是来自大陆集团用户事业群的负责人 Pavel Proza 先生。Welcome.
Good morning, and welcome at Continental booth. Pleasure to have you here.
OK. 我们注意到啊，今年在车展上啊，大陆的用户事业群带来了3款非常激动人心的产品，能不能请您给大家先介绍一下这3款产品呢？
Yeah, sure. So we have actually 4 displays here, but basically 3 innovations which we are showcasing those days here in Shanghai Motor Show. So we have a window projection. So that's something what is next to me here. So basically we transfer a window into an external display. It's a unique way how we can communicate, how the car can communicate or the user can communicate with the outside world. And basically, yeah, we turn the window into a high resolution display where you can display your personal information, for example, your favorite team where you are moving to your favorite team games, or you can provide some commercial information if you, for example, have it at the taxis, or you can display information like what's the route it's coming or what's the status of your battery charge and those kind of information. So very personalized, let's say, user experience and communication with the external world via basically your side window. That's one of the innovations which we are showing. The second one would be an invisible biometric display sensing. So what it is, we have a camera integrated behind an OLED display. Together the camera is combined with laser dot projector. And what it does actually, it does authentication of the driver, and it's monitor, for example, your viable function. So it can monitor your heart rate, and can also monitor if your seatbelt is well tied throughout over your body. So it's something what's really enhanced safety, and it's all invisible, flawlessly integrated behind an OLED display. And the third innovation which we have here, what we are showing on the user experience side, it's actually kinematic movements of the display. So it's something what's enhance usability of the display in the car. So we have 2 demonstration. One, it's a display rotating basically around its axis, so you can position it horizontally or vertically, the display. And the second movement, it's a swivel movement, so you can position the display basically towards either to the passenger or to the driver. And it's very, let's say, seamless, 2 motors doing the movements, very seamless, noiseless, basically movements below 35 decibels, and also quite robust, let's say, solution. We can carry a display weight up to 3 kilograms. So yeah, those are the 3 innovations. Of course, we have many more, but those are the 3 which we decided to display those days here in the Shanghai Automotive Show. Yeah.
那我们期待多久可以在我们的量产车上看到这些技术呢？
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. I mean, clearly we want to do a business with those innovations, and I'm excited to say that we have multiple discussions in those different innovations with concrete customers, with let's say concrete possible business propositions, and we would be ready to place all those innovations in the next generations of the vehicle. So we are talking really in a very near future. That's all possible to have already in the market. Yeah.
对，我也是迫不及待的想体验到这些技术和产品。
Oh, perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you.
另外，我想问到，就是说，经过昨天的这个参观啊，您对整个上海国际车展的一些产品有没有留下一些印象？比方说，其他厂商的一些产品。那您认为就是在上海国际车展的一些展台上的产品，能不能代表着整个座舱的发展的一些趋势？这个想听听您的分享。
Really an exciting show. A lot of new innovations and a lot of inspirations which you can see around But clearly I see a couple of trends which are really happening in the market. In general, I would say the displays are getting bigger. We see more and more really displays placed in the cars. We see a pillar-to-pillar solution, so really displays which goes through the whole of the car. I see also a lot of personalizations on the user experience side and bringing the information more clearly towards to the driver. So also a lot of innovations around head-up displays. So for example, augmented reality head-up displays, or we call it scenic view or panorama head-up displays, to kind of display intuitively the information to the driver. And I would say overall a lot of also playing with the emotion. So you can see also different shapes of the displays, curvatures of the display. So definitely coming towards to personifications. And I see the user experience being kind of the new horsepower really in the industry. So it's a clear differentiator for the OEMs, how to differentiate themselves from the others and how to drive also their customers towards towards their vehicles.
其实，在整个的这个车展上啊，驾驶辅助也是一个非常重要的一个话题。那在更高阶的这个智能驾驶到来之后，其实伴随着座舱也会发生非常大的变化。那么我不知道大陆在这一块做了哪些准备的工作，以及您是怎么来看待这种趋势以及在智能座舱方面发生的变化的？
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. Yeah, so I mean, we have a full dedicated business area to autonomous driving, but especially on the user experience now, specifically on the user experience side, on the cockpit side, how we support this. So we have a couple of technologies which helps, let's say, with the autonomous driving. So we have augmented reality head-up display I already mentioned, or the scenic view, the panorama head-up displays. It's something it's definitely useful when you are driving the cars autonomously. You want to display the information somehow at the vision field of the driver. So head-up displays is definitely one of the technologies where you can very intuitively display and informations to the driver that he can immediately see. Other things which I see which supports it's clearly with autonomous driving there is more time for the driver to enjoy and other activities, and with that I mean we have and displays, large displays which we are implementing in the cockpit of the vehicles to kind of entertain either the passengers or all the drivers. And other innovations I mentioned, we have this invisible biosensing sensor integrated behind the display. So that's also something what helps, makes autonomous driving safer, because we can monitor the vital functions of the driver by not really disrupting the driver, because we integrate those sensors behind the display. And we can monitor their vital function. So we can, if we see that something is not okay, we can call for the emergency or can initiate emergency call, or let's say address any kind of a safe maneuver of the vehicle by that. So those are just a couple of things which come to my mind, which fits with the user experience trends, let's say, which supports the autonomous driving trend in the industry.
那其实我最后一个问题想请您来预见一下，就是从人机交互，从我们的设计的角度，下一代的座舱会是什么样子？能不能请您给我们的这个观众来去描绘一下？
Yeah, thank you again for the question. Yeah, so I see kind of two major trends happening going forward. So it will depend a little bit on the vehicle classes. So I would see that really with the, let's say, smaller vehicles, base vehicles, so we rather see really and directions towards to standardization, so standard size of the displays, with, for example, a camera integrated in the frame of the display. And in the premium or mid-size to premium segments, we see trends towards personalizations and let's say unique shapes, large displays, unique really displays. So we are talking about pillar-to-pillar solutions, integration of additional features or hardware really together with the display. For example, actuated sounds that you put actuators which creates a sound by the display. I mentioned this invisible bear sensing, so that's also another let's say another part where I see that integrations of additional hardware in that. In the display solutions, and then also I would see really trends towards the scenic view, the panorama head-up displays. That's something what I see will take place in the market going forward, and also augmented reality for the better, let's say, intuitive displays on the head-up display sides. Yeah.
好了，非常感谢 Power 刚才给我们的很有预见性的一些观点啊。我觉得在上海国际车展的2.2馆，这是一个零部件展商的馆啊，在这里大家可以去预见未来。那么在2.2馆呢，我觉得大家应该尤其要来到我们大陆集团的展台，在这里啊，特别是关于智能座舱的一系列的设置，可以让你看到3年、5年以后我们的整个的智能座舱的一个发展的趋势。好了，本期的创世纪的节目到这里就告一段落，谢谢大家。